Hey everybody, it's Cubmaster Paula here, and I have really missed seeing all of you. And I've been talking to some of our committee members and some of the church leadership, and we figured out how to do our Pinewood Derby. That's what we were working on right before the situation happened, and I want us to continue with that. I'm going to be mailing out the rules to the Derby in the next few days so that you'll know exactly what we need to do. And we've also got some other things we need to talk about on our Derby. The first thing we need to do is cut out the car. On Saturday, August 15th, we're going to start about 10 o'clock with appointments, and the Cub Scouts will come to the Scout Center to have their cars cut out. We will have one Cub or one family in the Scout Center at a time. Please do not plan to show up without an appointment. If you have a way of getting your car cut out at home, that is fine. Everything will be sanitized between the Cub Scouts, and please make sure you make an appointment. So when you receive your Pinewood Derby car, it was in a box like this. Now be very careful when you open the box because you have a lot of small little things in there. You need to make sure that you hang on to everything that was in there. You need to grab a plastic bag and put these nails and the wheels into it and save those for when you need to finally put your car together, because everything in the box needs to be included on the final car. So when you come in to get your car cut out, you need to already have the design on the side of the car so that we can get in and out quickly. What I recommend is taking the car and a plain piece of paper and tracing the car. Now I make sure I really mark these two little spots because that's where your tires will go. So as you see here, I drew out the car several different times and I marked where the tires go on the car. And we'll talk about that a little bit more later. So then I just start trying to decide how I want this car to look. Do I want the front end to be bigger or the back end to be bigger? Because there's different distances. Thomas keeps telling me this should be the front end of the car. So that's what I'm going to do on this one. And I'm just going to start playing. And in this case, this would all be cut off as trash. And this would be my design on my car. And I can go in later and I can add windows and all kinds of stuff like that with paint, or however I want to do that. Draw a door on it with paint. Let's see, let's try another one. I keep saying I like this end better as the beginning. So let's try something like this. Maybe. Okay. And just for the fun of it, let's try one like this. Okay. Almost looks like a pickup truck there, doesn't it? So then I decide which of these I want on my car. So I've decided that I like this design the best. So I'm going to cut it out. And as you can see, you can still see where my tires go. And there's my outline. So now I'm going to take these two little slots and I'm going to line them up here, and then I'm going to trace this design onto the car. And I use a pencil, so if I make any mistakes, I can erase it. Okay, there's the design of my car. And when I come in to have my car cut out,
He knows just to go by those lines right there, and that's how my car is going to look.
The following Monday and Tuesday at 6:30, that's August 17th and 19th, the Cubs can sign up for times to work on their car. We'll set up several of the 8-foot tables throughout the smaller bay. One Cub can be at each end of the table and still be 6 feet apart, or we can have one family at a table if there are multiple Cubs. And at that time, we'll have sandpaper available, paint, and things like that so you can work on your car. We'll also have some Pinewood Derby car experts there to help you. And again, you don't have to come to this if you have a way to do this at home, but make sure that you have an appointment. Also, if both of these dates fill up, we will add other dates. And again, everything will be sanitized after each work session.
Okay, so after you've got your car cut out, we're going to imagine this is already cut out. You can take sanding paper and sand it. It's a soft wood, so it'll sand very easily. And then you can also paint it any color you want. Then you also need to install your nails and your tires. That's why it's so important to keep those. They have to go in these channels. So this one I'm just going to stick in like that. And you need to make sure the tires rotate pretty good. There. And the rules that I have posted on our Facebook page and I have emailed to you say that we have to be able to see that these are still nails. They're not like a solid axle. So make sure you don't cover that up. If the nails don't want to stay in that little slot, and I'm just doing this with my fingers, you can use a hammer sometimes, you can cover up just the nail itself, but leave the center open so that we can see that there's not a solid axle on there. Like that. And all of the tires are spinning. There we go. Oh, that tire right here isn't spinning. So we'll have to do some adjustments on that. And that's one of the things we look at on the day of the Derby, is are all of the tires spinning? Are all of the tires touching the ground? So when you come in to get your car inspected on Friday night, we have several different things that we do. The first one is we will take a mirror and we're going to set the car down on it and we're going to make sure all the tires touch the ground. Now you can see there, this one doesn't touch the ground. There's a wobble on it. Let me turn it around so you can see it better on the camera. So this one would not pass inspection, and as soon as we realized that there was a problem with it, we would hand the car back to you, and you can go outside and you can work on it and get it fixed. And once this is fixed, it'll proceed on with the inspection. We're also going to take the car and make sure that the axles are far enough apart so that the wheelbase can't be adjusted. So we're going to do this with it. And this one, of course, is correct. Then we're also going to take it and put it in this so that we can see that the tires, right there's a problem. There we go. That the wheels have not been adjusted this way either. So they've got to fit in there. Then we also take the car and we're going to take this little piece and run it under here. And that's really important right there to know, because the car has to weigh 5 ounces, and sometimes people put weights on the bottom of them. And if you put a weight on the bottom of it, this may not clear it, and if it doesn't clear it, it's not going to go down the track very well. We can also take this and check that the wheels are correct that way, and that the car's correct in some other ways as well. So, put that steer and check in. And then we're going to weigh the car to make sure that it is 5 ounces. And we tell everybody, get your hands off the table. So this one's not had anything cut off on it. It is just the pieces that are in the box. And it's 4.25 ounces. Now, if you add anything to the car, the weight is going to add a little, the paint is going to add a little bit of weight. If you hot glue something to the car, I've seen people hot glue little characters in the driver's seat. That's going to add weight to it. The character would add weight as well as the hot glue. If you glue weights onto it, they're going to add weight to it. So you need to be very, very careful paying attention to how much the car weighs. I have scales here at the Scout Center. If you holler and I'm nearby, I can meet you and let you get your car weighed. Also, the post office is really good about letting you weigh your cars there. So, like I said, 5 ounces.
And this is the part where we need some adult help, our Pinewood Derby prepping. On Thursday, September 3rd, our Pinewood Derby track and the equipment for the Derby will be moved to the Fellowship Hall at Whitnall United Methodist Church and set up. We need 2 to 3 leaders to help with this. If you'd like to volunteer, please let me know. Pinewood Derby check-in, and this is where those rules come in real handy. On Friday, September 4th, starting about 10 o'clock, by appointment, the Cubs will bring their Pinewood Derby car to the Church Fellowship Hall to check it in. We need to have 2 or 3 adults there that night, and we're going to be looking at those rules and weighing and measuring the car and things like that, and then the car will be left with us for the race. And then we have the big race. Saturday, September 5th, starting at 9 o'clock, the Pinewood Derby will be raced with only adults present, and we're going to broadcast it via Zoom. It'll require about 10 people to run the race. This will be race officials, judges, people who can broadcast it via Zoom for us so that everybody can see it. If you'd like to volunteer to help, please let me know. And again, only adults will be helping, and we're not allowed to have more than 10 people in the building. After the race, the track, the cars, and everything will be taken down and moved back to the Scout Center. Everything in the Church Fellowship Hall will be sanitized before we leave that day. And then the week after our Derby, the Cub Scouts can come by the Scout Center to pick up their cars and trophies and awards. There'll be times announced for that at a later time. Now we need to talk a little bit more about the situation. Everyone will be required to wear a mask covering their mouth and their nose anytime they're in the building or helping with anything on this. Please do not enter the building if you've had symptoms of COVID-19. If you're not sure what the symptoms are, they can be found on the CDC website. If you need help with that, let me know. Also, please don't come in the building if you've had contact with anyone with confirmed COVID-19 in the last 14 days, or if you've traveled out of the area in the last 14 days. We want to make sure that we keep all of our leaders and all of our Cub Scouts safe. I'm really excited to get to see some of you again, and I'm really excited that we're going to get to do our Pinewood Derby. We're still looking for ways that we can get together and meet and still abide by the state regulations for social distancing. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. And I look forward to seeing some of you this Saturday as we cut out cars. Make sure to let me know if you need to come and have your car cut out, and I'll let you know what time your appointment is. I want to say a very special thank you to Travis Barnes, that's Tyler's dad, for helping us cut out our cars, and to TJ Church. TJ's going to run one of our Pinewood Derby workshops for us. We can't do scouting without all of our volunteers, and I really appreciate everyone chipping in. Thank you. Have a great night.